Hi everyone and welcome back. So in the previous couple of videos we have already seen HTML tags, HTML attributes, HTML forms, validations, and even we have created some basic HTML layouts, right? Now we are at a particular stage where we start diving into JavaScript. Okay, so I will start talking about these things because HTML is purely static until unless you don't talk about JavaScript. There is no pure existence of HTML. HTML is only static markup. Like, okay, you do input tag, form tag, UL, LI, OL, LI, iframe, all these different tags you just use to statically render the page. But JavaScript is something which adds the dynamic behavior, and there are lots of APIs in web page which works with JavaScript only, that we have already seen. The DOM APIs. Accessing the DOM, that is only possible with JavaScript, right? So that we have already seen. I will just talk about that. So when you render a page on the client side browser, so first of all we will see what is browser and what all elements of HTML and JavaScript. So let's see. I will try to make it a little nicer. So this is your browser, let's say. Okay, what the browser will do is, this is your HTML browser, okay, like Chrome. Okay, I'll just highlight it. Now in this Chrome browser, what are the important aspects? You will render the index.html. So here is your index.html. You will render this, and this is coming perfectly fine. You are able to even show the content. Okay, you can show the content. This is how my page is displayed. Okay, page is displayed and we are able to see the things. But what happens if I wanted to access the storage API, document object, window object, or if I wanted to access the HTML node? Because browser is rendering this index.html and creating the DOM tree. I hope now you are aware what is DOM tree. It is actually creating this head, then HTML head, body. Inside HTML there is a body, and inside body you are creating all these tags like div tags. So it is creating this DOM tree. That is fine, it is creating DOM tree. But what if I wanted to do something in the DOM? Okay, changing the node. When I click onto the button, I need to show and hide things, I need to change the color, or I need to just show some animation on the page, right? When you click onto the button, I wanted to just go to another page. All those things will happen through the DOM APIs. So now you understand two things. There is a DOM tree. This is purely HTML, but there are DOM APIs which are provided by JavaScript. So there comes the role of this Mr. JavaScript, DOM APIs, or browser object model, document object model. So this DOM tree, document object model, is actually a tree. To access this, to apply the dynamic behavior, you need a DOM APIs, right? That is actually provided by JavaScript. So all the geolocation APIs, storage APIs, or even web worker APIs. So I will just put this here for now. All these things are provided by JavaScript. So HTML itself cannot do anything, right? You need to inject a JavaScript nature even to access window object or a document object. Now there are two important things in HTML. Always remember that. So this is a document object. Another thing is the window object. And these both the things are available only on the client side JavaScript, not on the server side Node.js. No. When you render the page on the HTML browser will provide you these two objects to access the features of the page. Window object can do lots of things. I mean, this is JavaScript object which gives you lots of APIs to access the or add some kind of event like window.onload window. You can also store some global variables inside a window object. Window object has the everything about the window, like window.href, window.location. We will talk about them. Similarly, the document DOM APIs we have already discussed in the previous videos, but what it is doing, it is accessing the DOM tree and providing you the HTML nodes. So document.get element by ID, what all we have used, if you remember, document.get by ID. Similarly, there are other methods also, by tag name, by class name, query selector, by class name, by tag name. There may be a typo, but these are the different methods using which you can actually get the HTML DOM node. Okay, I have a div tag in the HTML, I can access that. I have a ULLI with particular class, I can access. I have a UL tag, I can access. Okay, query selector and query selector, all these are actually DOM APIs which will give you the access to the DOM node which you have. And once you have access to the DOM node, you can play with the DOM node using JavaScript, all these APIs. You can create a new children, you can append the children. That's totally different things. And when we are not talking about any framework, React, Angular, Vue.js, we are going to deal with these DOM APIs only to apply the dynamic behavior. I mean, there used to be jQuery, if you remember. Now, back in those days, there was jQuery. Now we have React, Angular, Vue.js. What all these frameworks are doing? They are giving these methods in their own simplified way to access the DOM. jQuery has all these kind of selectors. Similarly, the React has its own way of accessing the DOM and giving you the optimal way of accessing the DOM and changing the behavior of the UI. Right? So, but before that, we need to learn how these APIs really works, right? Without even jumping to the framework. So we know HTML tags. Now we got these two JavaScript object, document and the window object. Document provides the DOM APIs. I mean, you can do lots of things on the document object. And how can I show you? Just simply inspect element. It should pops up the Chrome dev tool, and I will just try to show it in the full window. So what is this? This is my Chrome console, or you can see Chrome developer tool, but this is attached to the browser, current browser window, right? So let's say I open my website and then I open the Chrome developer tool. So this developer tool right now is going to access this particular page. Okay, let's clear everything here. If I try to see document, what this document is, it is all about the current web page that is being displayed on the browser window object. This is the whole window object that is displayed on the browser, the current window, right? And here this is JavaScript, because document, window, these are the JavaScript APIs which are available on the client side. So here if I do document.get, what are the methods you see on the document? Lots of things, right? But we don't need to just understand each and everything right away. Document.get element by ID. So get element by, let's say, tag name. So here I'm trying to access how many tags you have with the div. Okay, I have 35 tags, 35 div tags on this window. Maybe let's say UL. Maybe I have, or I may not have. UL, I don't have anything. So it is giving me the HTML collection. It's empty. Maybe span tag. It's empty. Maybe image tag. It should be there on the home page. Document get element by tag name, right? So it is just trying to search, okay, do we have this particular tag or not? And this window object also has lots of APIs. Window.alert, close, window.location, onload, window.close, location, window.href. Not sure if these are the methods. I mean, it is a global level. The whole window object, window.locator, I think there is a geolocator API also there. Geolocation coordinates, if you wanted to get the current coordinates of the user who is using this browser, right? Geolocation APIs are there. window dot, what else we usually use, window dot close, it will close the window. Window dot fetch, so these are all JavaScript client side APIs. Window dot fetch, fetch is actually an API which we use to get the data from the APIs, right? So fetch is the client side API which is available on the window object. Window is a global object, and these all are event: on abort, on load, on before match. So whenever your window is getting loaded, you can add these events to do something, like on before loading the page, after loading the page. Window dot navigator, it is giving you the information about your current browser. Okay, so you can see the language, default locales, what is the who is the vendor, what is the APIs, I mean GPU, all the information about your browser. Window dot navigator. Okay, we will talk about more about this. So this is the window and this is the document object. They are really powerful, and you can do lots of things using this document and window object at the client side. I mean, you can do almost everything with these two objects at the client side JavaScript. Okay, let's close this and come back here. So we are going to use these APIs, so they will enable the JavaScript injections. So from here we will start understanding the JavaScript. Okay, we are just finishing the HTML. We will also do some demos. We'll build some sample layouts and all, and then we will jump right into JavaScript. But before that, you need to understand how JavaScript is being used at a client side. Without this document and window object, you cannot do anything. So we are accessing the DOM APIs, window API, geolocation APIs, but all those APIs are available here on the document and the window object. We are accessing the page, applying the styles, changing the DOM behavior, all these different events, right? You can apply using these DOM APIs. Okay, so let's get started. What we will do is we will step by step cover few things. Let's say geolocation APIs. I mean, these are like the basic remaining things from the basics of HTML. Storage APIs. Okay, let's talk about storage, but it's not HTML. Okay, these are like HTML APIs which are provided by JavaScript. Okay, I will just use this, and here we are talking about the storage API. So sometimes at the client side, if you wanted to store something, how you can do this? Local storage.set item, and here I can say key is my name, and my name is right. This is the local storage. So similarly, if you do local storage, you can see in the storage I got the item. So this local storage will be available on the current browser window, and this is the JavaScript API. Local storage is available, I think, on the window dot local storage. Yeah, I mean, whatever is available on the window, you don't need to explicitly put window dot. You can access them directly also, like navigator. Navigator. So all the things, all the APIs which are available on the window, you can access them using directly navigator. Either you write window.navigator or like window.local storage. You can access them directly. It will just check that object available on the global object. So window object is known as a global object. It's a global window object which has everything inside this. So this is your window object, and this is this local storage APIs, and we can use this to store some temporary variable which we need on the browser, and this will be available until unless you go and manually delete it. So here application local storage, here I put this local storage. Until unless you go and delete this, it will always be available. So these are the local storage APIs. And in JavaScript, your web page in JavaScript code, you can do local storage.set item. While getting the item, local storage.get item. How? Simply local storage.get item, and just put the item name. It's like key value pair. It will give you the value. So these are local storage APIs which are available till you delete them. So next we can talk about geolocation APIs. So I will do the same thing. I'm inside this, and here I can just do navigator. First of all, you can just check, okay, navigator is enabled or not, because you should be on the desktop browser where the navigation is enabled, right? Navigator dot geolocation. geolocation. Okay, it should be there. If it is there, then you can do get current position. Okay, it will should give you your coordinates. Get current position is a method name. Okay, how we can do it? So first of all, if you are trying to track the location of the current logged in user, so this is a geolocation API. You should allow your Chrome browser to access your location, which somehow you will get here. Like, let's say if I try to get your location, so let's see this method, and I think there is a call. This should be a callback function. Console.log data. Okay, get current position. Okay, this is what I was trying to show. I should do it on the page. That's better, right? So I just created a simple button. If you are not able to understand, that is fine. It's just a one button. You click on to one button. I am executing one function and trying to access this navigator API, navigator.geolocation.get current position. And you can see here, we need to allow this. Otherwise, it will give you undefined. Now, if I do try it, I run this. Yeah. So it is giving me the current position, but before that I have to allow my browser to access my current location, right? It's nothing but, okay, there is an ID and you already know how to, I will be talking about that now, like how to access the ID DOM node, how to add the action in the from the HTML to JavaScript. Here I did on click get current location and I define this inside a script tag. Either you create a separate script, separate JavaScript code here inside index.js. I can just use this code here, right? And then include this inside your script tag, script src index.js. Right? And here we are not doing anything. There is a demo is the ID, because with the help of this only we are accessing this node and we are placing the content inside it. So this is all HTML plus the vanilla JavaScript, which is accessing the DOM APIs and geolocation APIs. So this is an example of HTML, DOM APIs, DOM events, geolocation APIs. Why I'm saying this? We are covering three things. Button, on click, these are the DOM events. Okay, on click, on key up, on key down, on mouse over, on mouse down. We will talk about them, but these are DOM events. So let's say I scroll, I click, I want to do something. All these things can happen through these DOM events. Because you are clicking a DOM node, you are mouse over, you are key down, you are key up, you are doing a own change. So this is the DOM event, and this is JavaScript function added here in the index.js get location. But how would I access the DOM node demo? Document.get element by ID, because this is ID. Here I put ID demo, so I can access it using document.get element by ID. I got the node, and now I can access the node properties, node.innerHTML. What all things you can do here? X.append element, inner HTML, inner text, insert node, insert before. All these are DOM APIs, JavaScript code, which you can use to play with HTML stuff. So what we did, you see the dynamic behavior here. Here currently I don't have the coordinates. When I click onto this, it executes this function and it placed it was just a page reload issue, something like that. Now I click onto this, it works. So initially, let's say reload. Now it is populating. So this is the dynamic behavior. I click on to the button, some action happened, and I got the data, and I'm setting the data in the HTML node. Okay. So I'm accessing DOM APIs, DOM events, DOM APIs to access the node, DOM events to trigger JavaScript on the click on change, geolocation APIs to get the coordinates, and HTML is a static HTML. Okay. So this is geolocation. Now what else we can talk about? Geolocation storage HTML audio video tags. These are like nothing but a simple stuff. I mean, you can use iframe or video audio tags. Here, if I change this code itself here, these are like just a script, right? Here you can actually use the audio and video tags to show them in the window. So video tag, video and audio are like HTML5 tags which are used to render the video using MP4 file or OGG file or something. Iframe you can use to render the another web page, right? Because it's embedded URL, YouTube embedded URL. You put the iframe, set the width and height, it will just show you this for you, right? The YouTube video. And currently I don't have a video that needs to be played here. You need to provide a proper URL of the video. Otherwise you just copy and paste. I don't think we can copy and paste here the video. Okay. And then audio video iframe. So similarly, similar to iframe, there is an object. So there are different tags, object, iframe. Both works in the same way, similar fashion. Okay, so these are now like I will be marking it as a complete. Now what we are going to do in the coming videos, we are going to do this frequently, like accessing the DOM and applying the change. Let's say if I build a simple to-do app, let's say if I create a simple search, let's say I have a simple search bar on the top. When I type and enter some username, I should be able to search the names of the data, right? So now we will start pairing up with JavaScript with HTML. We know HTML a little bit. We will gradually learn HTML tags, like all the different tags and attributes, HTML form validations, styling and all. Styling is a different part which will come after JavaScript, where we will start beautifying our HTML nodes, layouts and all. That's totally a different long sessions. Okay, for now we will start marrying this HTML with JavaScript. We will see how these different events can execute our JavaScript code, and using that we will try to change the HTML, right? Here we are changing the HTML behavior. We putting some content inside a inner HTML of this DOM node, right? So let's get started.